My name is Heshen. I'm a love life counselor. Yes, and also a student and a mother of three, one boy and two beautiful girls. Even my boy is so handsome. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad to meet you all. Are you jealous? Yes, he is. I'm
Okay.
glad to meet you all, guys. So, okay, let's start then. Mr. Ndabe Zimnandi, Mr. Good News, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yebo,
Speaking to you.
Digama Nandi. What I do, I make music full time. So I'm into like music and music publishing as well. And that's pretty much what I do. And when it comes to, I guess, mental health, I think we always speak about it quite a lot. I think I involve those topics as well in my music a lot. So I'm somebody who really does like to kind of engage in those kind of conversations.
So it means we're gonna hear a line or two towards the end. Yay.
Iphi imali.
Free publicity, free publicity. Hey, exactly.
Yo, very free publicity. For who?
For you. Okay, Renice. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, it's Tanel Renice.
Tanel Renice. Which one is the surname? Which one is the name? Tanel Renice.
Tanel, yes.
Okay, who is Tanel?
Tanel is a marketing manager in the entertainment industry. I have been in specifically television and production for about 8 years now. I am an older sibling to two younger brothers. So I'm the only girl. I am a very passionate person about what I do in the entertainment space, specifically around, brand amplification and marketing for individuals and brands. And yeah, I have a lot of passionate opinions about certain social topics that are currently happening in the country and globally. Um, and yeah, that's like just me in a nutshell.
Cool, cool. Okay. So you see, Mr. Ndabezimnandi, that I can already plug you here. We've got someone who can manage you. Okay, guys. So today's topic, we're focusing more on older siblings. I have two younger siblings. Yes, we are four at home. I've got an annoying younger brother and a little sister. Yes, I'm the middle child. I'm the middle child. So
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
how it is being an older sibling and the challenges that we go through. What is it that we have to do as older siblings? Because there are people who are looking up to us. And it's not like you were given any other choice. So you become a role model by default. So, so anything you do, there's someone watching. What is it that you want us to focus more on? Maybe Tanel, how has it been being an older sibling to you?
Being an older sibling for me, at some points were very challenging. I think because of the kind of environment that my siblings and I grew up in were very different. So my perspectives on certain things are very different from my siblings, despite the fact that we grew up together. So being an older sibling and having a very huge age gap between myself and my two younger brothers also, played a role in certain challenges, in being an older sibling. For example, I think when you are the firstborn, you you have to go through a lot of things way worse than your younger siblings. You kind of like take the fall for them on a lot of things. Because it's your parents' first time as well raising a kid, it's their first experience with a kid with you. So their experience with their younger, with their second and third borns, will be very different. Maybe they'd be more lenient on certain things. They wouldn't take things as seriously as they would the first time. So I always felt like I was given the hardest time as opposed to my siblings because of that. Um, I think also, because of the huge age gap between me and my siblings, when my dad passed away in 2012, I was 20 years old, but my siblings were still in primary school. So I think, also having grown up with both my parents for 20 years of my life, impacted me in a different way than my brothers having to grow up with one parent for most of their life. So there's so many different dynamics to being an
Yeah.
older sibling,
Mhm.
and that I've had to deal with. That my brothers are now, there's struggles that they have that I don't have, simply because of the fact that I had both my parents for most of my childhood, and they didn't. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, even with employment. I think because I had my parents and I had like a very strong home with the two of them, up until I was 20 in tertiary. My career has skyrocketed because of that foundation, and
Yeah.
because my brothers lost a parent and the father of their home at such a young age. It really impacted them to the point where now that they're in their late teens, early 20s,
Mhm.
it's difficult for them to like find employment and have that drive that I did, because of the fact that I had two parents and a more solid foundation than they have currently at their age.
Okay, okay. No, I hear what you're saying. So with that being
Yeah,
said, Tanel, in other words, it's showing that mentally it still
yeah.
affects you somehow,
Mm-hmm.
because you are saying
Definitely.
it's by being the oldest one or the eldest sister, you start playing the role of the parents now that they are gone. What can you
Yeah.
say in terms of okay, when we talk about mental health, it's a very broad one. It's
Mm-hmm.
broad. So as a sister to your siblings, how has this affected you, maybe mentally, psychologically? So what is it that do you feel like you under pressure? Okay, because speaking from experience, I if there's anything I want to see, I just want to see my younger sister and my younger brother not going through what I went through. For
Yeah.
example, whether in tertiary, I always tell my younger sister, she says I'm a bit controlling, and she says I'm controlling because I always tell her, no, when you do this, this is going to
Yeah.
happen because I've been there.
Mm.
And yeah, and sometimes you have to step back and let them experience things for their own, like, yeah, at first hand. It becomes difficult for you to navigate everything that they do and to accept that they are growing. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Ndabezi Mnandi, I know. So we're going to hear more about how Ziggy is as your brother. What are some of the things that you wish older siblings can do that you feel like we're not doing well?
Just like yourself, actually, I'm also a middle child. Uh, so
Mm-hmm.
I have two older siblings, and then I have my younger brother who is in matric right now, So uh, I do get to feel that little bit of being like an older sibling to somebody, but also uh, I was also the baby of the family for a while. Then I converted to become, older than somebody, like Konmutong Lamai. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I because I have older siblings, I get to see Ziggy, some of the things that he does and some of the things that he sacrifices, and um, there's a very clear difference to how like just like how Tanel said how he was raised and how I was raised and how my eldest sister how she and just the way in which the relationship with the parents is the just overall the upbringing and the relationship now and like how things are now and the relationship dynamic is now as siblings and you get to realize something. It's like your parents will have one child, then they have a second child, then they'll have a third child, or but like all those kids turn out differently. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because that's how they're raised, but it's like every child is different. Everyone is different. You guys can be in the same household. You can eat the same thing for breakfast every day and experience more or less the same things, but you will turn out two totally different people.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. In Tonga, they say "Autswalimbilu," which means you don't give birth to the heart. So you, as we grow up, we tend to have our
Very
own
true.
choices,
That's very true.
regardless of what our parents taught us. But if there's anything that I've noticed as a middle child, I find myself being the mediator in everything. Like I'm there, I'm controlling, like I make sure when there's a fight, I make sure there's peace. When someone is not talking to the other one, I make sure that we try by all means to have peace.
Oh, so
all
you're the
round.
peacemaker.
You don't want to know.
But that's classic middle child though.
Yeah,
They
that's
just want to
it.
keep everything together.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
So Tanel, with the age gap and everything with your siblings, do you find it easy for you guys to communicate? Do you have that kind of relationship? And if you do have the kind of relationship, how do you make sure that you guys stay in your lane and still not forget that you are related, but allowing each and everyone to voice out their feelings and allow them to be free to express who they are? How do you find it easy to do so in terms of focusing more on our mental health state and that the fact that it's about mental health awareness month? So how do you then find that relationship to communicate?
I think for me, checking in on my brothers regularly is how I manage that, because I understand their character. And like Ndabe was saying now, um, we all from the same parents in the same house, but we're so different in character. I'm such an extrovert, I'm outspoken, I'm very social. And my brothers are the total opposite. They're very quiet, they're very introverted, they don't talk much. So me regularly checking up on them and asking them to tell me how they are, because of the fact that I know they wouldn't really reach out if they were not okay, uh, helps me to understand them better. I think being an older sibling in that regard, and seeing or looking out for your siblings' mental health, is understanding their different characters and different traits, especially as an older sibling, because you are the older one. You're kind of like, their protector in certain instances. So you're like, I call myself the deputy parent. So
By default.
by default, so like I have to take time to actually understand why they're different, what makes them different, what different character traits they have, so that I deal with them in different ways. So that's how I kind of have this flow with my brothers and how we speak and communicate constantly. So yeah, that's how I've kind of navigated around them.
Okay, and Dabezi Mnandi, how do you then have that relationship with your younger sister? How do you connect in terms of talking about? Are you guys open? Are you open to any conversation with your younger sibling?
I guess like the relationship dynamic with like as different siblings. With my younger brother, I mean, we're cool, but he's a teenager, and I feel like when you're a teenager, like you're on your own. You're like, you like to kind of isolate yourself,
He feels he
because
can run the
for
country
some
now.
strange reason you feel like nobody can relate to you. But it's like it is like that. Like, because as an older sibling, you feel like, yo, but I can help you with certain things because I've experienced them. I know exactly, what it is that you're going through. Might not have the full picture or all the details, but I know, you know. But as well, like the B-side is when I was a teenager as well, me and my brother were not close. And our age gap is not that big. He's probably like 3 years older than me. So he's not that much older than me, but it's like we were never close to the point where, I was going through life pretty much on my own, and you could see that I was like down all the time. And, I feel like maybe our relationship probably got stronger maybe over, it's probably been like 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Other than that, we've both been living like separately and not really communicating. So I feel like that communication also, it takes time, and it's different with I guess different people.
Yeah.
We are dynamic in Jani, but that's my thing. All you can do for somebody is just be there, support them, ask them if they're okay, if they want to talk about anything, and hope that gets somewhere, or that prevents anything bad from happening, or it encourages them to express themselves.
Okay, so it is what in a nutshell, what you're saying is it's important to create a safe space and to respect other people's space. If he says he doesn't want to talk about it, then it's okay as an older sibling to just give him that space, and then when he's ready to talk to you, hopefully he will come back. It's not that easy sometimes, especially to us. I'm gonna use race here for the lack of better word. Black people to talk about anything. For me, with my younger sister, I'm more close. Actually, I'm close to all of them because, like I said, I'm the middle one. So I try by all means to make sure everyone is fine. I then started to talk to her because Nyambwana, she's gonna kill me for this. She has started dating now. I'm sure she's doing grade 11. She'll probably kill me for this. Hopefully she won't see it. So it was not easy starting and accepting that she's growing, but I had to try and go back to that thing of saying she's a grown-up now. Whether I like it or not, it's gonna happen. She's gonna start dating. And if I remember the other time we had a meeting. We normally have group Zoom meetings, family, because we are all my other two siblings that we are here in Gauteng, and then she's still home with our parents. We're still blessed with two parents, thank God for that. I said to my sister, do you know that mom will never talk to our younger sister about dating and all that?
Yeah.
She's so fortunate because we are there, we know what's happening, and we can be able to talk to her. And I said to her, I think it's time you talk to her. I shifted the duty, the role to my to my elder sister. I said to her, I think it's time you sit down and you talk to her about everything that's happening. Try to understand where she stands, where is she mentally, psychologically, and all that. And then my sister was like, I thought this was your role. This is your field. Why don't you talk to her? So, but we tried by all means to talk to her. And I'm more closer to my younger brother. He talks to me about anything. When Mjolo is trapping him or what, he talks to me. My other sister, yes. So what I'm trying to say is it's important to have those, to understand each other and to know how to approach someone. It's better to say something. I always say your approach matters a lot. Yes. When you talk to people, your approach determines the kind of answer you are likely to receive based on your approach.
True.
So when you approach someone with respect, you approach someone with that understanding of saying, I'm not here to judge you. I know this is happening and I'm here for you when you need to talk. We opened that platform for her, although it was not easy for her to talk to us about anything. I'm telling you now, it's so she finds it so easy to a point where I feel like too much info. You are sharing too much. I don't think I want to know that.
Hey,
Yeah.
you asked.
Yeah, but she just gives and gives and gives everything. So, but it opens a platform for us to even communicate about anything. And
Yeah,
I get to understand when she's going through a lot of things at school, there's psychologically where she stands and how can we best help her. Because she's doing
that's
grade
true.
11. So being an adolescent in adolescence and trying to deal with school, it's not as easy as it was for us. We used to play like serious play. Ubona,
Mm.
they are here on the phone. That's the only way they play. She comes back home, she goes into the room. You're like, okay, we are here. Can we just sit and eat? All of us. She's like, no, I've got
Yeah, true.
an assignment. But then when you check on WhatsApp, she's there. You won't even ask, is that the assignment? She's there. She's on WhatsApp. But what I'm trying to say, Tanel, regardless of the age gap and all that, it's okay for us to find that space to allow our siblings to talk to us and to
Yeah.
just be supportive, like Mr. Good News said. Let's try to be supportive and be open to a point where
Yeah,
someone can easily approach us. Because
Yeah.
growing up, I never had that chance. I never had that opportunity where I can go and tell my mom, Ish, you know what, there's this guy, ne? And like my mom will literally look at me like, Wasan,
Ah,
are you crazy?
it doesn't make sense.
But
You know what's
yes.
funny? Uh,
Mhm.
especially for me, we went from no girls to where are the babies? Like it was just like that. It was a very quick switch. Like we weren't allowed to be with girls. Now with these babies that are being expected from us.
oh my
Mhm.
God. Yes, I know. That's oh man, that's a
And that's
huge
how
thing.
parents just operates. Like for
That's
them,
so
it makes
true.
sense. Like, okay, this person, they want dating, they want socializing. Now they must just have out of nowhere. They must.
Yeah, that's so true. I never even
I-
thought about that. Like we were never told about like dating or like it was such a taboo thing. We were clearly not allowed to even look at boys.
Exactly.
And now when you're like in your late 20s, entering your early 30s, they're like, okay, where's the babies? And I'm like, last time we chatted, I wasn't allowed to look at no guy, man.
so
You
as
see,
all
and I feel like that's also why Hershey is so shocked that her sister's dating now. Because
Yeah.
for you,
she's
had that
my
been
younger
you, it would have been
sister. Yes, I never expected that, but
exactly.
I'm glad I'm growing up in this in these times. I get to understand now that you know what, you need to talk. It's okay to talk about these things.
Yes.
That's
It's
true.
so
That's
okay
true.
to talk about it. I to such a point where I remember it was when last month, I think I was home and my father is like to her, um, what are you doing with those boys that I saw you with? I was like, damn, if it was in my time, you'll be getting a whipping. Like,
There wouldn't be.
Exactly.
What are you doing with those boys? The boys are done. They're getting
Yep.
and
beat at the
the,
same time.
when like it was just a conversation. I was like, okay, when did we get there, Dad? Why are we not doing the things we used to do back then? But I think they're also understanding. Our parents are also going with time, try, although it's gonna take
Yes.
time for them to understand everything. Now they know that they have to communicate. Whether you beat
Yes.
her up or what, she will date. And if you're
True.
not
That's
talking to
true.
her
That's true.
and you're not saying anything to her,
Mm,
the next thing it's gonna be pregnancy. And
yes.
whether
Yes.
it's gonna affect all of us, there's no way you're gonna leave your younger sister's baby not having
Yes.
pampers. You will
Exactly.
contribute. But if you
That's true.
Yeah.
tell her, she will go in there with caution. She will know the
Yes.
chances that are there that I might be pregnant. And if I continue chatting with someone or sending nudes on WhatsApp or any social
Mm,
media, chances are it might be out there and circulating and I might trend and it might affect me psychologically. So I
absolutely.
Yeah.
think it's important to touch on each and everything that is happening out there, whether mental health, whether sexual health, anything about with your younger siblings. It's important, even
Mm,
though you find it's maybe they are married and all that. It's okay to check on each other.
mm,
Let's normalize checking on each other and just
yes.
asking how's everything. everything? How's the family? So I'll tell you, no, nah, I don't think. There's a sister who's very stubborn. Yeah, I'm blessed, very blessed. Stubborn like hell, but yeah, I'm glad we have that relationship. I try by all means to break the ice, and I thank Love Life for such, because it
Yeah.
has taught me to talk anything and everything with anyone, because it's happening whether we like it or not. People are having
Yeah.
sex, people are mentally disturbed, so it's okay to talk about anything, and
Yes.
that opens a platform for them to even be open to you.
That's so
Yeah.
true in
Yeah.
what you're saying, because I am a clear example of when your parents don't talk to you about certain things and they find it taboo. Especially
Yeah.
because I did not have older siblings to confide in because I'm the oldest. So I would
Yes.
date my parents back. I would sneak out the house and go see the boys, and I was not educated about you know, like dating and relationships and the opposite sex
Yeah.
at home. So I was just going on peer pressure and what I'd learned from my friends or in my social settings.
Mm.
Um, and especially, I'm as a young, female of color, I have also um, understood racial dynamics a
Yes.
lot better from the experiences I went through that I wish my parents would have spoken to me about,
Yeah.
instead of me learning the hard way. Um, Especially now, like with my younger siblings, seeing how I am in my relationship. I'm in an interracial relationship as well, and it's something that it was not spoken about at home. It was very taboo. But
Mhm.
now that my brothers have seen that I have broken that mold on my own
Yes.
in experiencing it for myself, they have also now explored, the opposite sex, and I even had my
Yeah.
brother call me about, I think 3 months ago, and he was like, hey, to now I am busy preparing a date for this girl that I really like. I asked her out, she said yes. I'm doing all these cute things on our date. Is it cool? Is it too much? So I think because of that
It's too
lack of
much.
guidance, I know
I'm sure,
he's
I'm
such
sure,
a
I'm sure,
he
Tanel, somewhere
is.
you're like, okay,
I'm
we
like,
dating
dude,
now?
like man up, play hard to get, like.
Yeah.
But he's so soft. Shame, and the girl ended up taking advantage of him and like never talking to him again. But anyway,
What did
um,
you do?
I literally said to him, dude, you're doing too much. Maybe tone it down a bit. He
Oh.
didn't take my advice, and he's like, no, but I really like her. I want to show her that I really care about her. And I think she was very overwhelmed.
And it hurts when seeing your siblings going through such heartbreaks and all
Oh,
that.
dude, it
It hurts
broke
a
my
lot.
heart.
It hurts.
It
It
broke
hurts a
my
lot.
heart.
But I always joke with him, especially with my younger brother, in terms of
Hmm.
dating. I always, when he's going through some troubles, I always say to him, Borna, when it comes to dating, it's like buying flowers. You try, you
Yeah.
smell this one, you smell this one until you find the perfect one. So whatever
Yes.
you go through, the learning curve, yeah, take it
Mhm.
and move on to the next one.
100%.
That's true.
They will learn just like I did.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it never changes, eh? It never changes. It's the same thing over and over.
True. True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're still going through a lot. We're all going through it, but the most important thing is to be there for each other, especially looking at what's
That's very
happening
true.
in the country now.
Yeah.
Let's normalize checking on each other. Let's normalize checking on each other. If
Mm-hmm.
Tanel is not calling me, let me not be that person who says she doesn't call, so I'm not going to call
Yeah.
her. So just
100%.
call and ask, how are you feeling? How's everything? How can I help if you need to be helped? So let's
Very
normalize just
true.
talking. So in a nutshell, mental health, it's okay to talk to people. Let's normalize checking on each other. And let's be
Mhm.
siblings. Let's not be too stubborn. Let us be approachable, Tanem. I like the
Yes.
fact that yeah, we are both saying that we find it easy to communicate with others. So, Mr.
Yeah,
Good News, don't be too hard on a younger brother. Give him the space, but then be there when he needs you.
yeah, that's all I can do. That's what I can do. I feel like my brother also does the same thing, especially over the past couple of weeks. Like, basically, I'm working on something, right? And I have like deadlines to meet, and then he's seeing me procrastinate, but he's not telling me with the hey, Baba. He's just like, "Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?"
I see what you
So I
mean.
like the fact that he keeps checking on me. So I also have to check myself, in that sense, like, okay, not, yeah, no, man, am I okay? Because I'm supposed to be busy right now, you know?
Yeah,
Mm,
procrastinating is
yeah,
another disorder that we all suffer a
Very true.
lot to deal with.
true.
I
Yeah,
can
I'm
relate.
guilty.
yeah.
I have a
So
lot
you
of
can't be too
assignments that
hard on somebody, because
I'm busy
obviously
on
Yeah.
then you,
Zoom. So thank you very much, guys. I enjoyed talking to you, and we are here as Love Life. Young people out there, feel free to send a call back. You need to talk to someone. Feel free to send a call back. You'll get a counselor on the line. Just send a call back. Whatever it is you want to talk about, 083-323-1023. Send a call back. You'll get a counselor on the line. Thank you very much.